he discovered that if he threw crisp new bills into a teacup, soaking them completely, then fished them out, the fresh notes would look worn and old. So he processed all the bills this way, then hung them up to dry with a hairdryer. That gave him a large stack of old bills, all freshly made counterfeit money. Compared to brand new bills, these aged ones were actually harder to spot as fakes. Next came the real test. His partner handed one of the fake bills to the shop owner, asking for a soda. But the moment the owner took the money, he sensed something was off. Vera's heart jumped. The owner had already recognized it was counterfeit and grabbed his hand in front of the crowd. Sam rushed forward desperately, pulling his friend away. If they got caught, they could easily be beaten to death. Luckily, they'd planned an escape route in advance and managed to slip away without serious trouble. Back home, they burned all the fake bills. Sam was baffled. They had even faked the anti-counterfeit coating, so why did the owner still spot the fake? Holding the last counterfeit note, he thought for a long time and finally figured it out. They'd used the wrong paper. Real money is printed on a special cotton fiber paper, which feels completely different from the fake bills they made. This cotton paper also has a unique crisp sound when handled. Then there's the ink on real notes, which changes color depending on the angle you view it from. And the toughest part to fake, the security thread embedded in the note. To create counterfeit bills indistinguishable from the real thing, they had to solve these issues first. What made it even harder were tiny microprint letters on the collar of the portrait on the bill. This made copying almost impossible with just a scanner or copier, so they had to completely hand draw the initial design of the bill, then scale it down carefully and engrave the printing plates. Thankfully, drawing was Sam's strong suit. He perfectly replicated every detail on the new bills at a 1:1 scale. Then, after polishing and chemical treatment, they finished a printing plate for counterfeit notes. But the real cotton paper is tightly controlled by the government, and ordinary people can't easily get it. They had to find a substitute paper with the closest texture possible. They went to bookstores and recycling centers, buying all kinds of similar grass paper, but none matched. Then Sam found a magazine. One sheet was thin alone, but if they glued 2 pages together, the texture felt almost identical to real cotton paper. So Vera started working again, bleaching the pages first, then printing the front and back of the bill on them. He glued the 2 sides perfectly together, but they still lacked optical variable ink, which changes color like real bills do. Vera improvised, mixing metallic paint with regular ink to create a similar effect. The crisp sound you get from handling real money was replaced with a clear varnish that mimicked it. They made dozens of test bills this way. To test the improvements, they went back to the same store. This time Sam tried paying, holding hands with Vera for quick escape if caught. When Sam handed over the fake bill, his heart pounded. Vera was ready to run, but when Sam got his soda and change, both of them were stunned. It wasn't just about a soda anymore. They now had the ability to print counterfeit money indistinguishable from the real thing. What neither expected next was what they did next. They approached a local gangster proposing a money-for-money deal. Sam slipped one fake bill among 2 real ones and challenged the gangster to spot the counterfeit. Vera even taunted, "If you find it, I'll give you this whole pack of 100,000 fake bills for free."
Bitch, Shruti, if I point out the fake note, what will I do with the rest? Wipe my ass?
After thinking for a moment, Sam added, "If you're right, I'll hand you 100,000 real cash." The gangster, intrigued by their confidence, eagerly accepted the challenge. But these weren't ordinary fake bills. Sam, a genius artist, and Vera, a printing expert, had crafted the fakes so well that even they couldn't tell them apart. The gangster studied every security feature and thread but couldn't find the fake. Then Sam proposed a deal, 500 real bills for 1,000 fakes, with minimum orders of 100,000. The gangster only offered 300 at first, which they almost refused. Suddenly, the gangster fixed a massive order, a 20 million note deal. This caught them completely off guard. Though they only had 2 weeks, they agreed. Before leaving, the gangster let them keep the 100,000 fake bill sample pack. On the way back, Vera scolded Sam for agreeing so easily. There was no way to print 20 million in just 2 weeks. They didn't have enough raw materials or machines. But Sam had a plan. He told his uncle about the counterfeiting and invited him to join the operation. His uncle broke into a cold sweat. This was illegal, and Grandpa would never allow it. But this was the only way to save the newspaper business. Not willing to see his father's legacy destroyed on his watch, the uncle finally agreed but wanted to test Sam's fakes first. At a fancy nearby restaurant, Sam handed a fake bill to the server to pay the tab. His uncle was so nervous his hand shook while holding his coffee. Sam told his uncle to watch at the counter, where staff were verifying the bill's authenticity. When the server returned the change, Sam told him to keep it as a tip. To mass-produce fakes, they needed a fast printer, large printing plates, at least 50 kilograms of ink, and several drying machines. They borrowed money at high interest rates to buy this equipment. But again, real cotton paper was strictly controlled by the government. Buying it required complicated tax paperwork. Other paper couldn't match the texture. Desperate, they hired people from their friends to help break into a paper factory. They subdued several security guards and quickly found a stash of cotton paper, which they hauled away. With everything ready, they started printing the 20 million note order. Their new printer could produce 6 fake $500 bills per second. They coated the bills with varnish, glued the front and back sheets, added security threads, cut, soaked in tea to age, and dried them. In less than 2 weeks, all 20 million counterfeit bills were finished. When the gangster saw the results, he was stunned again and signaled his men to pay. Holding a bag full of real money, Sam and Vera couldn't stop smiling. By then, they'd made $6 million in just a few days, sweet success. With profits rolling in, they couldn't stop now. Boxes full of fake bills stacked against the walls. They'd paid off their loans and shared profits with everyone who helped them. Being cautious, they tested each batch with the most common counterfeit detectors on the market. They even bought back their grandfather's printing factory, which had been mortgaged. But while business thrived, love faltered. Sam's longtime girlfriend was about to marry someone else. He wanted to tell her he had money now, could take her to fancy restaurants. But now, it didn't seem necessary anymore. At the restaurant, when paying the bill, he suddenly realized the wallet he pulled out had real bills, so he switched and paid with a bundle of fakes instead. Unbeknownst to him, this little slip-up alerted someone. As Sam left, a woman working at the Reserve Bank of India happened to enter the same restaurant. She held a master's degree in printing technology and had exceptional skills at detecting counterfeit money. From the change given by the server, she immediately sensed something was wrong. She showed her ID, asked the server for all $500 bills, and sure enough, they were all fake. That night, she and her colleagues examined the counterfeit bills and found the forgers remarkably talented. The anti-counterfeiting codes and codings were nearly identical to the real thing. Only the feel of the paper gave them away. After soaking, the bills split in two. Using clues, she even guessed the working conditions of the counterfeiters. Meanwhile, Sam remained oblivious to his operation being exposed. His uncle wanted to stop the counterfeit printing, but Sam and Vera had just tasted hope for a better life and weren't ready to give up. Besides, the newspaper needed money to survive long term. The next day, the gangster called again with an even bigger order but demanded a 10% cut of the profits. Now with a bigger team and new equipment, Sam could handle any order.
I want 20. It will be done.
Still 2 weeks in hand delivery to Surat required, despite the risks, but the volume was massive and their cotton paper supply was still insufficient. Breaking into paper factories wasn't sustainable, so Sam hatched a new plan. They legally registered a shell publishing company in an old man's name. Now they could buy cotton paper through legitimate means. With everything set, Sam and Vera went on a printing frenzy. Fake bills piled up, covering entire walls. Meanwhile, the Reserve Bank woman, Mega, stole a search warrant stamp. She took it to the police and demanded raids on printing factories near the restaurant. 7 factories were cleared, leaving only Sam's studio. Unaware, they continued printing the 200 million note order as danger closed in. Suddenly, police cars pulled up outside. The uncle spotted them and told Sam to stop printing. From upstairs, they saw Mega and officers arriving. The uncle wanted to shut down the printer, but switching it off meant hours of restart time. With the deadline tomorrow, the last batch could finish in just 15 minutes. Sam insisted on finishing. They turned off the lights, hoping the police would leave on their own. Just as they gathered the printed fakes, the police called the factory owner. The uncle's phone rang.
Chachu, don't pick up the phone!
Sam pulled him inside, fearing the cops would hear the running machine through the phone. He faked illness and took medicine, trying to stall, but police insisted he come down. The uncle arrived late, buying time while Sam and Vera hurriedly stashed the fake bills. Without concrete evidence, Mega couldn't force entry. The chief pulled the uncle aside. Mega checked the premises. As the last batch finished, they switched off the printer, yet Mega heard noises from inside. Sam scrambled to hide the bills in a back room as Vera collapsed from exhaustion. The uncle couldn't stall any longer. The door creaked open. Frantically, they scooped up bills on the floor, shoving them into the room. Mega inspected everywhere while Sam and Vera sat quietly, barely daring to breathe. The uncle silently prayed no one would find them. Mega shone a flashlight around but saw nothing. Just as she turned to leave, she noticed scraps of cut paper on the floor. These remnants from counterfeit making were everywhere, with trash bins full of scraps. If she looked closer, she'd know the truth. Sam took a huge risk, grabbing a nearby wrench. If discovered, he'd have to fight hard. But with 200 million notes at stake, worth 60 million in profit, it was a risk he was willing to take. Then Mega's phone rang, fortunately. A lucky break.
What the fuck are you doing, Mega?
I heard you were raiding some presses.
Sir, I'm not conducting a raid, sir. I'm just checking the presses of this area, sir.
You stole my seal and sign on the letter.
It is not acceptable, Mega.
I got a call from the ACP. He's really mad.
I'm so sorry, sir.
You stupid, return this very moment right now.
I'm leaving right now. I'm really sorry.
They narrowly escaped the raid, but Sam remained tense and unsettled. Despite everything, the 200 million fake notes were printed without disaster. The next morning, Sam and Vera set out to deliver the order. They hit a checkpoint and were stopped.
Where to buy? Surat. Take out the paper.
Though paperwork was in order, the police insisted on searching the truck. The first box contained movie catalogs, innocent and neat. But the cops insisted on looking deeper. As they almost uncovered the secret below the catalogs, Sam deliberately knocked over a nearby bottle. Making a noise, officers found a bottle of liquor and suspected them of smuggling spirits. Taken to a secluded spot, the cops demanded a 50,000 bribe. After bargaining, Sam and Vera paid with a few bottles of liquor and 30,000 cash to get through. Soon they arrived at the meeting point. After inspection, the buyer confirmed everything was fine and handed over the agreed real cash. On the way back, the two dreamed about their future as billionaires.